Welcome back. Well, our next guests are all about teaching parents the hard-hitting facts about the most common and very costly mistakes that so many people make when planning for college.
Chad Harbeck is a specialist with integrated college planning. He's going to talk about some of the mistakes that we parents tend to make and what people need to be doing right now. Great to see you.
Good to see you.
So people have a high school student. When should they start planning for college?
Well, they changed how everything is working right now, so they're using 2-year-old tax information. So we've been really encouraging the freshmen and sophomores to come in and start thinking about that, because if we have to do income and asset planning, we should really be thinking about doing that in their sophomore year in high school.
It's so hard because I think any sophomore or freshman I've talked to, like, they don't know what they want to do.
Right.
They don't, so I think it's hard to get them to wrap their mind around which college or all that kind of stuff, but it's so important. And that's a mistake that people make, is that they don't do it early enough. What other kind of mistakes are parents potentially making when it comes to, navigating that financial process?
Really, it's the parents are waiting to see what the student's going to do in the long run, what the ACT score is, and all that kind of great stuff. Whereas it's easier to get the parents' ducks in a row and start them thinking about the process of planning for college, and then being able to lead the child or a student into the right areas or what right colleges to look at.
Because there's a lot of mistakes that parents make, and probably some of the mistakes start early, right? And you try to help prevent those.
Well, the greatest mistake is waiting.
Yeah.
If you know that there's a likelihood that your child's going to go off to college in 3 to 4 years, the earlier you start, the better off you're going to be.
When it comes to your EFC, what is that, and how do families figure it out?
Most parents, when they go through this process, go in blind. They have no idea what their expected family contribution is.
And that's your EFC, your expected family contribution.
Right. It's made up of parent income and assets, child income and assets, age of the oldest parent, number of family members, and number of students in college, and they come up with your number.
Those are a lot of factors.
There is. So there's really, somebody will often say, how much income do I have to earn where I don't qualify for anything? And you really can't even think about it from that standpoint.
And the reason that number is so important, and again, it's expected family contribution, is because it very much plays a role in that, what ends up being sort of like your formula for how much college is going to cost you out of pocket.
Right. Exactly.
And so schools, I think one of the things that you do, where one of the ways that you're most helpful is sort of helping parents figure out which schools in particular might be the best fit for their student.
Correct.
If you're looking at the finances overall.
Right, the finances overall, what the student wants to study in college. We would like to point people in directions to colleges that have given out a lot of free money, because there's nothing more frustrating, I think, in the process from our standpoint, is to see somebody coming in and we know they're applying to a college that they're not going to get a decent financial aid award, and then they have to have that tough conversation with the student saying, it's going to cost mom and dad $35,000 a year to go here. We can't afford that.
Right. So does the EFC, that number, does that often change people's desire to go to certain colleges?
The EFC number, typically what we see coming in is somebody will look at their EFC number and automatically tell us that they're not going to go to a private school.
Like freak out.
It's way too expensive.
Right.
But you can get the colleges to compete for your student.
And that's something you really help with, is figuring out how to kind of navigate those waters. You were just kind of telling us during the break some things that I know you share with parents when they meet with you, but how to kind of get them to play with those numbers and really get you the best option for your child to the place that they want to go. And there's some tricks that you guys talk about. And I think that's why it's so important for people to meet with you, to go to one of these workshops. You've got these free workshops coming up on Tuesday, the 21st. You've got one in Oconomowoc, that's at 6:30. Then you've got one in Oak Creek at 6 p.m. 2 different times, 2 different locations for the same free college planning workshop. Then on the 23rd, Thursday, West Bend at 6:30 and Mukwonago at 6:30. Stop into one of those. Make sure that you get your your EFC and learn a little bit more about how you can afford to go to the college of your choice potentially. You also have free virtual workshops on your website, integratedcollegePlanning.com, or call to make an appointment at 262-574-9242, and you're located right there in Pewaukee. Thanks so much for being here, Chad. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Chad.
Yep.